Welcome to another exciting episode of Beyond Indoctrination. So I gathered a few Q&As from friends who are interested in asking something or knowing something. We want to delve into the questions. I have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. I think they there were more than nine, but these are some of the selected ones that I actually personally decided to respond to. I think we'll be able to finish all this in few minutes. So the first person asked, "Are we alone in the universe?" Well, this is a question that has really fascinated both scientists and philosophers alike. It's an interesting question when you begin to understand the dynamics of existence and how life exists or evolve on planets. Okay, so since we are aware of how planetary systems work and how many planets there are, you would understand the possibility that, well, when all the factors that are necessary for life on Earth exist in the universe, it is possible that most of these factors could come together on another planet. Okay, so for example, Earth is a planet that is inside the habitable zone, or it's mostly called the Goldilocks zone. And this Goldilocks zone is a section um, within the planetary system where the sun is not too much, or the planet itself is not so farther away from the sun. If you look at the position of Earth, you realize that it is not too far from the sun. Otherwise, it will be so cold that it can't support life. So we look at somewhere like Pluto and even some of the moons of the giant planets, you realize that they are all icy because of the distance away from the sun. And then it's very hard to support life, especially our kind of life. If it is too cold, we can't survive there. And when we are too close to the sun as well, as the way Mercury and Venus are, they are too close to the sun, so it is impossible that it could sustain life since it is too hot. The temperature on Venus alone is even the highest in the solar system. And so Earth happens to be in a very, very, very good environment. And it is possible that out of the infinite number of stars we have, the 200 billion stars in each galaxy, and the number of galaxies that we have, you realize that there is a possibility, even a higher possibility, that another planet would be in the Goldilocks zone of its solar system. So depending on the kind of star it is, and then our kind of star, which is our sun, is one of the most popular type of stars out there. Okay, I think the red dwarf star. Yes. So the possibility that this one somewhere would have another planet revolving it where the sun will not be too much and the planet itself wouldn't be farther away from the sun means that the conditions will be favorable to support life.
Here are the top 3 worlds that remind us the most of home. Kepler 186f. In 2014, NASA discovered the first Earth-sized world in the habitable zone of another star, meaning it's the right distance from the star to be not too hot and not too cold for liquid water to exist on the surface, meaning life could potentially exist there too. Kepler 452b. NASA considers this exoplanet and its star to be the closest analog to our planet and sun so far. the TRAPPIST-1 system. Not only do all 7 planets in the system appear to be Earth-sized and rocky, 3 of them are located in the habitable zone of their star. TRAPPIST-1e may be the only planet in the system still welcoming to life. However, it does amplify the possibility that life can thrive somewhere else.
If the planet is in the good luck zone already, it's not enough. So what happens is that we know that the elements or the atoms that makes up our body are generated in the core of stars. And since all these still exist in the universe, it is possible that the kind of conditions that are possible to form a living complexity like we have on Earth is possible. There could be some in another planet that is in the habitable zone. But as to whether there are intelligent creatures like us, the possibility reduces a little bit. Okay, so when you look at another possible planet that is in a Goldilocks zone of its red dwarf star, then it is possible that there could be life there. But it is also very possible that even though there is life, they may not be intelligent as us. Okay, so if the possibility that there is life out there is 90%, the possibility that there may be intelligent life out there like us reduces to about 45 to 50% because the possibility of intelligence could even be an accident in our evolution, as Isaac Asimov once said. Perhaps it is a common something in the universe. That is why there is still a possibility of that. If you compute it, the possibility is vast that yes, there could be life somewhere else, either than Earth. Yeah, so we continue. The second question says, who is your favorite philosopher and who is your favorite scientist and why? Okay, so with my favorite philosopher, there are a lot of philosophers I listen to. There are a lot of them that I'm actually a fan of, but I have to choose a favorite. Okay, so I think I'll go for Alan Watts. Alan Watts is someone who actually studied theology. Yeah, and is very abreast with um, the philosophy of religionism. He doesn't speak science so much, but he understands how things are going in the universe.
All this universe is like water. It is fluid, it is transient, it is changing. And when you're thrown into the water after being accustomed to living on the dry land, and you're not used to the idea of swimming, you try to stand on the water, you try to catch hold of it, and as a result you drown. And the only way to survive in the water, and this refers particularly to the waters of modern philosophical confusion, where God is dead, metaphysical propositions are meaningless, and there's really nothing to hang on to, because we're all just falling apart. And the only thing to do under those circumstances is to learn how to swim. And to swim, you relax. You let go, you give yourself to the water, and you have to know how to breathe in the right way. And then you find that the water holds you up. Indeed, in a certain way, you become the water.
And I think Marcus Aurelius, another great man, I really, really like reading Marcus Aurelius. Yeah, but he's one of my favorites. So I would say Alan Watts and Marcus Aurelius, even though there are a lot of them. And with my favorite scientist, of course, people who know me up close knows that Carl Sagan, and Neil deGrasse Tyson are my favorites. Yeah, I think they've not limited themselves to astronomy only. I think they are science people, like how they see themselves. I actually like how they delve into other topics and how they speak generally about the public understanding of science. And I think they are the best science communicationists I've seen. And I think Fyodor Dostoevsky is also another great philosopher I like so much for his radical intellect. Okay, I really like radical intellectuals. Yeah, and I think Fyodor Dostoevsky is also a Russian philosopher who is also very deep. And we'll move on to the next one. This one says, what is your most outstanding fact about the universe? What is your most outstanding fact about the universe? Okay, but I just want you to think about this. It is not even a theory anymore, it is a fact. That is what even fascinates me about it. And it's simply the idea that before 1957, we knew all these elements, we knew all these atoms, but we didn't know how they came about, we didn't know how they were formed until a journal was released in 1957 that all these elements we find in our periodic table were created in the center of dying stars, in the core remnants of stars. The iron in you, the very oxygen and hydrogen molecule in water that you put in you each and every day was formed billions of years. And some way, somehow, this iron runs through your blood today. Think about it. So, you're asking me what is my most outstanding fact? I think I'll go for this one. Our ability to not be figuratively but literally stardust. We are just the universe made conscious. It's mind busting. Let's move on to the next one. This one says, are you single?